Males have a tan coloration that turns to a darker brown as they age. You see him over there. Over on the left, we have the common eland. They are the second largest of the antelope species. They can grow up to 2,000 pounds, yet still have the ability to jump 8 feet in the air. So if you look at their fur, you'll see a specific pattern on their fur that helps them blend in with tall grass more easily. There are certain tribes in Africa that will domesticate the common eland and ride them like horses. Over on our left, we have the ellipsis water bug. She all tuckered out there.
Mama.
So the ellipsis water bug is another antelope species with the ability to secrete a chemical that makes them waterproof. So what they'll do to get rid of predators is they will spend prolonged periods of time in the water. That same chemical smells very bad to predators, also smells very good for their own kind, so they're kind of like, "Oh baby, what you wearing? You smell delicious." Over on the right, we have the Dama gazelle. You see that one over there? White coloration on the body, brown coloration on the neck. Now, the Dama gazelle is the largest of the gazelle species. They're critically endangered in the wild, though. There are less than 200 of them left. There are actually more Dama gazelle under human care than there are in the wild.
Bunlardan yalnızca doğada 200 tane kalmış.
You see more over to the right as well.
Yalnızca 200 tane kalmış ayda. Ayda şu an.
So as we get up a little ways, we're going to see some of our reticulated giraffe.
Zürafalara
Now
geldi.
these giraffe are very cool. They're going to be very close to our truck, so I got to remind you, keep your hands to yourself. They might come in and say hello to us. So on our left, we got a giraffe mama. And then on the right, we will have a giraffe baby. Aha! She's in front of us, causing a giraffic
Geldi. Arda bak, Arda bak, Arda.
You see them over to the right. So reticulated giraffes get their names for the rectangular patterns on their fur. You see the baby over to the right as well. Looks very cute. Looks very cute and tiny. That baby is taller than every single one of us here. When a baby giraffe is born,
Bebek hepimizden daha
already
uzunmuş.
6 feet tall.
Bebek hepimizden daha
Also has a
uzunmuş.
6-foot drop from its mother, which is what I call a rude awakening. Giraffes have the same amount of sleep at the constant during final sleep, which is 4.5 hours of sleep a night. They sleep in 5-minute intervals. Coming up on our left, we have the scimitar horned oryx. So the scimitar horned oryx are extinct in the wild until 2016. Conservationists put 25 of them in Chad, and that's some of their first wild birds in over 30 years. That's just one example on how conservation does work. It just takes time and effort.
Arabanın içine giriyorlar bak.
They get their names for the curve in their horn. It's much like that of a scimitar sword. Over on the left, we're coming up on Camp Aventura. Here you guys actually have the ability to get off and feed our giraffes if you want. It's an upcharge of $6 for season pass holders, $7 for non-season pass holders. It's very cool. You get to go up close and personal and see these beautiful animals eye to eye. They are such gentle giants. Also here you can see our lynx cubs. Lynx are giant Arctic cats. But they're cubs right now, so they're little kitties. You can see our sloth, Frigo slothing, our giant anteater archer, our large variety of snakes, our large variety of birds. We have a lot of baby goats here. We have some Vietnamese pot-belly pigs. We have a baby common eland named Ellie. We have a baby blackbug as well. We got a donkey. Who doesn't want to see a donkey? Donkey! You know? So if you guys do choose to get off, just remember to take all of your stuff with you because you're going to show the other half of the tour with another tour guide. All clear. This is optional. You don't have to get off, but I highly recommend it because it's very cool. You're going to see a lot of animals here that you won't see on the other half of the tour. clear, Tony. Yeah, push right through your gates. Come on into those rows. Sit down, buckle up for safety. Everybody gets safety today. So, welcome to the second half of your safari off-road adventure. For those of you that stay with me, thank you very much. For those of you new to me, my name is Andrew. I'm going to be your tour guide for the rest of the tour. Our driver today is Joyce. Can you say hello, Joyce? Nice. So, quick reiteration of the rules. At all times, remain seated with your seatbelts buckled. Keep all hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. Do not touch the animals. Do not eat. Make sure that if you have a camera and you're taking photos, keep your cameras or your cell phones on the inside of the truck. Giraffes have the same number of vertebrae in their necks that we do, which is 7. We're entering the Serengeti grasslands. If you look over to the right as soon as we get in here, you can see the black wildebeest and you'll see a black wildebeest baby. You see that baby standing up right there. That's a few days old. It's adorable, isn't it?
Bak yeni doğmuş ayda.
The black wildebeest are closely related to those guys that put Mufasa 6 feet under. Now, they're an edge species, which means they live on the edge of 2 different habitats. What they like to do is they like to dig into the ground with their horns and then lay in the holes that they've dug and pull themselves off. So as we get up here, we're going to see another creature called the Adax. ADDAX. You can see more of our male black buck over to the right as well. Also going to be on our right are a bunch of the Adax. They have a white coloration on their body and a tan coloration on their neck. They have such symmetrical horns that if you look at their horns from the proper angle, it looks like one horn. So as we drive by them, try and see if you can see that line up perfectly. They're believed to be the cause of the unicorn myth. Please keep your cameras on the inside of the truck along with other body parts. So you can see them over on the right. They're critically endangered in the wild. They're probably the most critically endangered animal we have here. There are less than 100 of them left. They're believed not to be extinct yet because they live in such remote locations, it is very hard to find them. Now you will notice all these holes dug up in this area. This is dug up by the black wildebeest and the oodads. A lot of times our ostrich will choose these holes as pre-made nests and sit in them. So we're coming up on King's Land, land of our lions. Now, do you guys know what a group of lion is called? Wait, what's that? Yeah, pride, you got it. So, we have 3 prides of lions that we switch out for our outside enclosure daily. The pride we have out today is an adolescent pride of males. Over on our left, coming up, we have the oodads. Again, sir, please keep arms and feet inside the vehicle at all times. The oodads are over on the left there. They're from the Atlas Mountains. They're very good climbers. They have a specific foot that allow them to climb very well. So this moat we're going over is a very cool feature we have here. This is one of 2 locations on the East Coast where you can get a photo of a lion unenclosed by a barrier. The only other place is Disney.
Aslan bak. Bak. Aslan.
So this... Say what? You know what? At your own risk. So this pride is full of a lot of young rambunctious animals. Young rambunctious lions. They'll play a lot more than other species we have. Yeah. So when she was born, a little after she was born, she got an infection in her leg, which if we did not amputate her leg, she would actually have passed away. So that has saved her. Don't feel bad for her though. She is honestly the most fiery and feisty of the entire pride. You see her earlier, she was just running around. They're almost, they're about 2, almost 2 years old. Lions, unfortunately, are critically endangered in the wild. In 1940, there was a study done where there were 450,000 of them. Today, we have under 20,000. They're getting endangered from urbanization of their habitats and poaching. So we're going to be entering Black Bear Ridge. You can wave to our game warden over on the left when we get in here. Yeah.
Oo.
Waves for
Ayı
you.
ayılar. Arda ayılara bak. Ayılara bakman lazım. Bak.
Now you'll notice our black bears are free roaming. This is because they are more docile than other species of bear. That does not mean you can go out and go wild and pet them. It just means that they are docile around us. They have gotten used to these trucks going by, and they're really not trying to look for a fight. Over on the right, we have a mama bear and her cubs. Now these cubs are adorable. They were born last season. When they were born the size of this mic pack. They were this tiny. So we keep the mama bear and the cubs separate from the rest of the population because when a mama bear has her cubs, she is very defensive. This is for their best safety and the safety of the other bears here.
Suda yüzüyorlar bak. Suda yüzüyorlar bak göreceksin.
So black bears do range in color.
Bak bak bak.
We don't have one that they can even become a blonde color. We don't have one that's blonde, but we do have a girl named Cinnamon, who's a beautiful cinnamon brown, and she's been hiding from me last tour too. She's usually pretty out in the open and in plain sight. Now she might be in this tall grass over to the right. They do love to swim quite often. So I'm going to try and see if I can spot her. Nope. All right. So if you guys climbed into a tree, would you be safe from a black bear? No. No. You are correct. They are phenomenal climbers, even until their late years. They can climb trees within seconds. They have hooked claws that allow them to do this. They're also opportunistic omnivores, meaning they see something and they eat it, much like myself. Now, we have a gate attendant we can wave to over on the right. Hey, keep in mind what you saw with the black bears, because the brown bear is going to be significantly different, not just in color, but in size and in behavior. Over on the right, we have the red lechwe. Now, the red lechwe are from the marshlands in South Africa. They have a longer hind leg that allow them to maneuver through their marshy habitats more easily. Their population is being damaged, though, by dams being put up and destroying their swampy habitats. Over on the left, we have the greater kudu in the back, and then more of our male black buck. Now, these guys look very cute, but they can actually ram you at 50 miles per hour. This is how fast they can run.
Şiş yapıyor.
What? That's another male black buck over to the right as well. So over on the left, we have the Terra Ursus. I'll tell you, these black bucks do get over to the left. You can see two playing. That's cool. They're really fast, and they get to be a pain later in the day because they'll just bolt right across the road real quick, making a hazard for our drivers. So our drivers always have to stay nimble. Wave to the gate attendant. Hello. How's it going? Nice. So as we go into Terra Ursus, we're going to see our brown bear cubs over on our left-hand side. Now these cubs were actually raised under human care and not by their mother, because when their mother had them, she was very inexperienced. She was neglecting them, so we had to step in and raise them ourselves. Their names are Bones and Hollywood. They're going to be at the edge of the enclosure over here on the left.
Ayda bunların annesi tecrübesizmiş, insanlar büyütmüş bunu. Annesi büyütememiş. Şunları. Annesi tecrübesizmiş, daha önce hiç yavru büyütmemiş.
You can see them over there. You can see Bones eating their food.
Ha?
Their food is an omnivorous food base, much like cereal, but for omnivores. It's very high in protein and other nutrients. You'll notice our brown bears are enclosed differently than we have our black bears. This is because our brown bears are a much more aggressive species of bear. Brown bears are the European cousins to the American grizzly. That's why you'll notice a lot of similarities between them and the grizzly. They won't grow nearly as big as the grizzly bear does, though. Over on the right, we will see a lot of them in the water today. Or maybe just one. There was a lot of them in the water. A lot of them must have gotten out to eat food. You can see one lone bear in the water over to the right. He's like, no, I'm gonna spend more time in the pool. They love this water. A lot of times they'll go to the bottom of that little pond and they'll dig up some tree branches and play with them like toys. It's like their version of a pool noodle. Now, brown bears are good climbers, but they're not nearly as good climbers as the cubs, or as the black bears are. So as brown bears age, they climb less and less, so the most avid climbers are the cubs. Over to the left, we have a very exclusive brown bear hot tub.
Arda şunlara bak. Ayda poz ver.
The last enclosure on our left is going to be a mama bear and her cubs. They're very cute. They're getting big though. Kind of hard to tell which is the mama bear, which is the cubs at this point because they're all so big. Now, a mama bear teaches her cubs to climb by first climbing up a tree, going to the other side of the tree and climbing down. The cubs will instinctively follow her up and down that tree. This is how they learn at a very young age. A pregnant bear can go into hibernation, and one of two things can occur. She can either wake up mid-hibernation, have her cubs, and go back to sleep, or sleep through her entire pregnancy and wake up to her cubs 6 months later. Wave to our gate attendant over on the left. Hey. So we're now in our promise to the state of New Jersey. So to make our safari, we had to promise New Jersey we would keep one portion of it pure New Jersey wetlands. That's what this is. So as we drive through here, you're going to feel different quality in the air. It's going to be a lot cooler. It's going to be a lot sweeter smelling this because it's just nature doing its job. Our entire safari is 350 acres, as I said, and this is 40 acres of that. So that's pretty significant.